And did you work in the garage at all?
Yeah, I worked in the garages from when I was a little kid. I mean,
Yeah.
I pumped gas when I was just, when I put water in radiators, I had to climb up on the bumper to get into the radiator. I mean, I was there right away.
Right.
And I knew all the customers by their names. And he had a lot of,
Wow.
he had over 100 cars in the garage.
Yeah.
And I knew most of them by name. And I pumped gas probably when I was starting when I was about 6 years old. And I was driving when I was 13.
Wow.
When I got older and got my license to drive, in the summertime, I worked as his night man.
Oh
So
man, really?
I worked there from at night till 8 in the morning.
It sounds like a bit of a scary job.
No, it wasn't scary at all.
No?
Why do you think it was scary?
Well, working at night in an abandoned sort of garage and
Well, I lived on that block though. It was my
yeah, so it was
neighborhood.
your block anyway, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was at home, except I
Yeah.
had to sleep in his office, which was about 4 by 8, you know. It's
Yeah, I
not,
don't remember the office, but I remember the garage.
it was big enough to accommodate him, a chair, and a desk, and an American flag. He was very patriotic.
Ah, sweet.
He had a big American flag there. Even though he and I didn't have a real close relationship, he made an offer to put me in the business, and
Yeah.
I didn't want to do it. I was a very poor student, and my father was really pissed off at me. So he was right across his business was across from Fordham University, and they had a prep school there, Fordham Prep. It was a Catholic prep school,
Yeah.
and a lot of the priests that taught there were customers of my dad's. He knew them well,
Okay.
and so he got so fed up with me in school, he threatened me. He made arrangements with the priest that I would go to Fordham Prep. I'd have been the only Jew boy in that whole school. And so it scared the living hell out of me. I didn't want to
Right.
go. So I I promised him I would do better with that hanging over my head. It was the only semester I ever had in school from the kindergarten to the 9th grade that I did well in. And I wound up going to college, which I hadn't planned to do. And he wouldn't send me to college, but
Okay.
because I was such a bad student. And I was a terrible student. And then I decided to go because a friend of mine was going to school, and I cashed in my bar mitzvah money. And
Right.
I went to Southeastern Louisiana College, which
Of all places.
no one ever heard of. It was in the swamps of Louisiana, and I wound I was going to go for one semester, and I went for, wound up going to college for 6 years. Oh, yeah, they were great. We had two aunts, great aunts. They were great. My grandmother's sisters. There were two of them. They spoke no English, either one of them. Grandmother spoke English.
Yeah.
The two sisters, which I think were older than she was, were Tanta Rivka and Tanta Ruchel.
Wow.
They spoke no English,
Yeah.
and they would. I don't think they had a home, because what happened, they used to come to our house every year and spend I think about 2 weeks at our house, or more. They would live with us,
Yeah.
one at a time. And then they would go to another house. They would just make the rounds with all of them. I don't think they had their own house. I'm pretty sure they didn't. They spoke no English, and they were fantastic. They were very funny.
Yeah.
They cheated at cards.
Oh my God.
They loved to play cards, and we played cards with them all the time. Every night it was my job to play cards with them. And every time I played with them, they cheated.
That's hilarious.
It was.
And you were little.
And if I catch them, they just laugh. They loved it.
And what's the story with Aunt Libby? What relation was she to you? Or
And
was she a
Libby,
fan? Yeah.
And Libby was my mother's sister, and she was very close relation to me and all the others.
Okay. I don't know if you're going to be
She
able to
was an
see this.
extraordinary woman,
I don't know if you're
very
going to be able to see
talented
this.
woman, very musical. You would have loved her. It's a shame. There she is. It's a shame that you never met her because she was a great musician.
Yeah.
She could sit at the piano, and I'm not exaggerating. She could play for hours and hours without any notes, no music on the keyboard,
Yeah.
play by ear, and forever. And if you hummed a tune to her,
Yeah.
a few bars, she could play the whole song.
Yeah.
All the kids loved her, especially me. I loved her.
Yeah.
Everybody loved my Aunt Libby. She was an extraordinary woman.
She was great. And she, I know she had a lot of tragedy, but she was such a happy person, like just shining when you'd meet her,
Yeah, she had some mental problems.
Right.
But they didn't affect her relationship with any of the kids in the family that I know of, certainly not with me. And I went to visit her while she was institutionalized many times.
Oh.
Yeah, I could understand what they were saying, but I never could speak Yiddish. It's a great language. We used to go to the Yiddish movies, I don't know if you remember the Ascot Theater on the concourse.
No.
They had Jewish movies there.
Really?
Jewish movies. Yeah, in sepia tone. A lot of them were in sepia tone.
I didn't even know that was such a thing.
Yeah, they had Yiddish films at the Ascot Theater on the concourse, and they used to take us up there, but I guess so they wouldn't have to get a babysitter. And we used to see those Yiddish. And Paul Muni was in them. He was in the Yiddish movies, and other people that made it over to the American film. And
were they good?
Paul Muni was an Academy Award winner. And
okay, I don't know him.
yeah, he was a big star. And there were others, but Muni was probably the biggest one that made the transition.
I'll have to look him up when we get off the line because
there were others besides him, but nobody achieved the heights in American film that he achieved. The immigrants used to transport. You'd see them in the subways. They'd have a cord around their neck with a cardboard, and it had on the cardboard, it told all the stations they had to transfer and where they were going.
Oh my God, right.
So they'd show up with their suitcase.
Yeah.
And the thing around their neck, that was a common sight in New York in those days.
Wow.
And when I see them, I get so excited. They were so great. Such fun to be with.
So the immigrants
with that thing around their neck, and it have all the English directions, what trains to get off. And the people on the trains would absolutely all pitch in and make sure that those immigrants got where they were going.
Ah, that's so sweet.
In New York, it is sweet because you don't see people in New York doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
But every one of them took care of those people.